drilling, riding shotgun with me.
Riding a horse. Shotgun.
Riding a horse over a mountain. And then
That's right.
the horse falls to its death as you hang glide your way down into a river. And then you fight King Colossus.
Yay!
So King Colossus is a Sega Mega Drive game because it only came out in Japan in 1992. It was published and developed by Sega. It's kind of hard to find information on this game since it only came out in Japan. It doesn't have like a huge following in the United States.
So
there was a fan translation, like commune thing, put out a fan translation in 2006. MIJET, I don't know what that acronym stands for, is the name of the people that did it, but credit to them for putting this out. They've actually done like fan translations of a bunch of Mega Drive stuff, like Langrisser 2 and some weird like Phantasy Star Sega Net like point and click adventure kind of stuff. So, you know, it's awesome that there's a dedicated group of people that are making things like this happen.
Yeah, I really especially since I got my Super NES EverDrive, I've been very grateful for the fan. Like, I mean, it's cool. It's cool on emulators just in general to have that stuff accessible. But now that I have an EverDrive, I think it's super cool to have a lot of fan translation stuff accessible.
There's a lot of
original hardware.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones on the Super Nintendo too, like Bahamut Lagoon, which is a weird like Square-made tactical RPG. What else? Final Fantasy V.
There's a whole
the first
bunch
time
of
I played Final
Fantasy
Fantasy V was through a fan translation. So
yeah, the Secret of Mana sequel.
Seiken Densetsu 3.
Seiken Densetsu 3. Yeah. So this game has a connection to some other. This is an early Genesis game. Like this is a early. I guess it's 92.
Like early mid period.
Yeah. Peep.
A strange crest was drawn on the boy's hand, but what did it mean? More importantly,
Triforce?
Who was he? The boy didn't even know. That's it. This is pretty fast into the action here with this one.
Yeah, it's Zelda style, right? Especially early Zelda games. I mean, this is before Link to the Past, I guess, right? Link to the Past was or like contemporaneous, I guess, with Link to the Past. Was that 92 or 93?
92 or I don't know. I don't remember offhand. I want to say 93 was when it came out here, but I don't know when
I guess that sounds about right.
US. Regardless, pretty much all of these games can be traced back to the original The Legend of Zelda in some way or another. Any game that is an overhead action game has at least some roots or some inspiration from Zelda or the games that Zelda spawned. So
yeah,
and if you haven't heard, a rather large and seemingly very well received Zelda game came out last week. So I thought that we would kind of celebrate that by looking at this weird Genesis kind of Zelda style game.
Well, I get to pick next week, so I think we're going to continue doing that next week.
Right. That's fine. I love these types of games. Overhead action adventure RPGs is one of my favorite genres. And actually, there isn't enough of them as far as I'm concerned. There's like the Soul Blazer, Illusion of Gaia, Terranigma trilogy thing for Super Nintendo, and there's Alundra, and there's a handful of good ones, but there's not enough.
Oh yeah, Alundra, yeah, definitely. So Tougi King Colossus was developed and published by Sega, and it looks, according to Wikipedia, it was designed by Toru Yoshida.
Okay. And
he is probably best known as being really like the person behind Phantasy Star 4.
Okay, Phantasy Star 4 is a dope video game.
Yeah, that seems to be like his big claim to fame. He did character design on Phantasy Star 2. He did art design for Super Thunderblade and stuff, but he like...
Hold on one second. I gotta pump up this music just a little bit. There was some fucking dope-ass Genesis funky bass in this cave area that I really like. And then it gets into this really noodly, crazy prog guitar stuff. which this game has some fucking Genesis music in it. And it's
And you mean that in the best possible
I mean
way?
that, yes, I mean that as a compliment. The Genesis is the only thing capable of making bass sounds that sound like Genesis bass sounds. So
yes, yeah, that FM synth chip in there really. So Yoshida seems like he was sort of best. It looks like he hung out at Sega for a while. I'm looking at he's got a Sega retro page that indicates the games that I mentioned, but it doesn't have this game on it, so it seems like it's sort of incomplete. So I don't know what else he may have worked on.
Right, or Wikipedia is fucked up.
Right, or Wikipedia fucked
Apparently
up.
I have access to more weapons at some point. Like there's a spot for a bow and a spear and maybe a magical wand or a feather duster and some kind of a ball and chain sort of a thing. I only have a sword right now, but
yes, that sounds about right. So this game has some more connections. So that guy apparently directed the game, but it was also, according to Sega Retro, a guy named Makoto Ojino worked on it, and he's the guy who he's a manga artist, and he's best known for a series, a manga series called Spirit Warrior.
Hang on 1 second. I just need to point out this flower thing in the middle of the room that I'm fighting. It has two big old pulsating nuts.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
It's really difficult to interpret those as anything other than
yeah. But why would a plant have
balls? I don't know.
Yeah, why would a plant have balls?
There's many miracles in this world, Joe.
Like fucking magnets. How do they work?
Yeah.
So this guy Makoto Ojino is best known for a manga called Kujaku O, which is Peacock King is what it's known as in Japan, but in the US it was rebranded as Spirit Warrior. It's a shonen jump comic that ran from 85 to 89. And that's actually significant because
oh wow, I can save anywhere.
That's always nice.
That's wild for a game from 1992. Like,
yeah,
that's just not a thing that existed very often in those times. Anyway, continue, please.
So Spirit Warrior is significant only because there were two Sega games that were released in the US based on it. There was one for the Master System, which was called Spellcaster, and one for the Genesis called Mystic Defender, which a lot of people might remember because it was a super early it was like a Genesis launch game, basically. Like it hit the Genesis in the US like not quite at launch, but in 89, so like the year the system came out. So it was a very early side-scrolling action game. For the American Genesis. And Spellcaster is basically a similar kind of thing, but since nobody gave a shit about the Master System in the US, probably not as many people remember that. But Mystic Defender is probably so that the same guy who did the manga of Mystic Defender apparently did at least some of the character design and stuff for Sega Retro says that he directed the game, not Yoshida. So now there's some conflict here.
Information.
Yeah. But he at least did the art, and you can tell by looking at the box art for this game,
the box art
which you can see on the stream. Man. Yeah. Like,
general, Mega Drive box art is cooler than Genesis box art anyway.
In general, I would be,
especially like I've noticed that looking for box art for the sidebar in these videos quite often. Sometimes I would prefer to use the. I should just start doing that. Especially the one for Contra Hardcore is especially fucking cool.
The US box art for that isn't bad though. It's got the giant robot like bearing down on our heroes.
It's good, but it's not as good as the Mega Drive one. Anyway.
Yeah.
So far, this game is totally okay. The range on the sword is a little bit unforgiving. Like I have to get kind of too close to the enemies to hit them, although they don't seem particularly efficient at killing, so maybe it doesn't matter so much. But like Well, I think about like, well, I mean, obviously, Link to the Past is the first Touchstone because that is a perfect video game. But like the way that Link swings his sword across his body, so it gives you a pretty wide range. So you kind of just have to be facing them to make contact, or even like a Soul Blazer, which has, I think it has a top to bottom
even in the
chop,
first
but I want to say
Zelda,
that's a little bit more forgiving as far as
even in the first Zelda when he stabs straight out, at least lets you know,
poking.
like you have when you're facing down and you swing your sword, it's really hard to tell.
Yeah, where I'm hitting.
What you're hitting. And in Zelda, in the original Zelda, the way Link stabs straight out really makes it a little bit easier to tell, what you're hitting. Fraxia in the chat says, I am a plant physiologist and I have no explanations for that plant's anatomy.
I mean, magic, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Magic plant balls.
Yep, magic plant testicles. So I recommended to you, and I don't know if you had a chance to watch it, but just looking at you bombing these boulders to move between rooms, I recommended to you that you watch the latest No Clip documentary.
I've not. You know what I've been doing?
Playing Zelda.
I've been playing a lot of Zelda. Although Zelda is a game that lets you watch stuff while you're playing it pretty good, so I don't really have an excuse. I just forgot.
Yeah. So
chest. A hand axe.
So I'm just gonna put that out there for people watching this in general, that like Danny O'Dwyer does really great stuff. Like he basically left GameSpot and was like, hey, I can just like do whatever on my own because I have enough name recognition to do that. So he started a Patreon and now he basically makes like really high production value gaming documentaries.
I got an axe and it has a little bit more range on it.
Nice.
It doesn't seem to be much slower, so maybe it doesn't. Maybe it just
Let's stick with that.
I don't know. It does a little more damage though, so we'll use this for now.
Yeah.
Because I can kill these spiders in one hit with this axe, which I couldn't before. I'm not gonna bother fighting these guys. I'm just gonna continue on.
But so Danny O'Dwyer, who had done a lot of video content for GameSpot, is now struck out on his own, and he's got enough of a Patreon, support that he can do a lot of stuff. So this
very long form, like 30 to 40 minute documentary and interview.
Well, the Doom one is like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It's split into 3 parts, but it's like 90 minutes when you watch the whole thing. But he did one called Rediscovering Mystery. Is basically he did a Frog Fractions one that's sort of a spin-off of that, but like the latest main one is called Rediscovering Mystery.
My people leveled up, Joe.
Nice. Now it's got more marshmallow-y goodness. So,
got an extra coating of sugar on top for defense.
That's right. Yeah. When you put it in the microwave, it takes 10 extra seconds for it to explode.
If things are falling apart, I have to do platforming.
Oh no.
Platforming never works well in these games.
This just turned into Star Tropics.
Even Zelda's, at least I can move diagonally in this game, but you can't Star Tropics, which really sucks. Even Zelda Link's Awakening, like the platforming in that game is not super great. Even though it looks
the thing about Star Tropics, though, is that while you can't jump on or move on an angle, but like the way it locks you to that grid makes it so that the platforming is pretty merciful, because like it's hard to fuck up a jump because you're locked on this grid.
That was like a totally reasonable platforming section in one of these games. Sometimes it can be a nightmare trying to figure out your positioning.
But a big part of that documentary is talking about Zelda and like sort of how the original Zelda was sort of a big embrace of that mystery style, where you basically are just put into this world, and like the game came with a map that would tell you where the first 2 dungeons.
I am the thief of thieves, Zakar. What are you doing here, boy? What? Give back the old man's sword. Oh, that sword. Sorry.
Oh, that sword.
Oh, that sword. You mean the sword I stole from the old man?
I wasn't going to steal it.
I guess I could give it back.
So, that's why I recommended it. Well, I recommended it also to you because they talk about Spelunky and he interviews Derek Yu.
For example, if you were to kill the fish man living in the spring, I might consider it. Okay.
Well, I guess you'll have to go kill the fish man.
I guess.
In the spring. You stole a sword. Why don't you use the sword to kill the fish man your damn self?
I don't, because it rusts too easily.
I guess.
Don't touch my treasure. Okay, he doesn't. Can I hit him? I guess I can't fight him. Okay, well, let's go see if we can track down this fish man. Maybe there'll be a sexy fish princess that I can hook up with.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And then have like half fish babies. Anyways, so the latest no clip thing is about I recommended it to you specifically because he talks to Jonathan Blow about The Witness, and he talks to Derek Yu about Spelunky, and those are
Love listening to Jonathan Blow talk about game design. So
the thing that I really like about what Jonathan Blow says is that like AAA development has sort of gone in a direction that's very handholdy, and he's like, from a business perspective, like I get that, but like if you're a person who really wants to figure stuff out on your own, they've made that harder, and it's like less enjoyable and less rewarding to sort of feel. And it made me think of like I saw an article that was like, hey, in Breath of the Wild you should turn your mini map off.
Nah.
And I haven't done that yet, but I did say, I remember right before I started playing Deus Ex, or maybe right after, immediately, I read a review, or I watched a review on YouTube, and the guy was like, this game is way more enjoyable once you turn off the thing that tracks, like there's like an overlay you can turn on and off that like basically tells you exactly where your next thing is, and it lays out like a Fable style trail on the ground, and it's just like, follow this trail, and like that's where your next thing is. And this guy was like, turn that off, because like the game makes you earn it more, basically, and it's like more fun to like
figure out where to go and
check your map and see like, okay, the dot is on the map here, how do I get from here to there without just like, oh, just follow this like yellow line on the ground. So it's like a similar thing to that, and like I think if I hadn't seen that, I might not have enjoyed Deus Ex Mankind Divided as much as I did, because that thing literally just leads you to exactly where you need to go next, and like there's no need to do that. In Breath of the Wild, even with the mini map on, because the mini map doesn't like, it just puts it's like Grand Theft Auto, right?
Like
it just puts a dot and and it's just like that thing you're going to is over here. And you can put pins on your map and be like, well, I want to go over here, and then it'll be like, well, that thing.
Oh, fuck off, Fishman. Peep defeated the Fishman.
The Fishman looks a lot like the creature from the Black Lagoon.
A little bit.
His like fins are much bigger than the Gillman's, but like, I like the way that text is offset too. Peep defeated the Fishman. And Fishman is not capitalized, so apparently he's a Fishman.
Right, there's
that's
many
not his
Fishmen.
name.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah,
just a
this
Fishman.
idea.
Get out of here.
But it seems like Breath of the Wild really, like, if you're not looking online for all the stuff about Breath of the Wild, there's like a very real sense of sort of, and we'll talk more about it when we actually stream that in a few
Zakar
minutes.
is speaking in third person to me now.
If you smell
What Zakar?
what Zakara
Yeah.
is cooking.
Did you give me the sword?
Oh, you obtained the Iron Sword. Now you have to go defeat the evil wizard Malkil and his elemental guardians.
Do I have I get no more healing anything here.
Yeah, you're
I'm gonna have a hard time getting out of this cave, I think. Fortunately, the show's
I haven't noticed.
over,
Do any enemies drop?
Yeah, they
health
do, but
pickups?
it's hard to kill enemies without taking hits. Fortunately, you can. Fortunately, you can save anywhere, so I can try to farm these spiders for some health, maybe.
Save scum your way out of this cave.
Oh no! Stay away from me. Here. Oh, good death animation. Let's continue. I love this menu too. It's really good. The way it like wiggled like zigzags in and out.
I just caught up to the death animation.
Okay. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. All right. We're doing good now. I'm just gonna book it out of here. The girl in my house said that she would heal me if I made it back there, so I'm just gonna try and get out of here. If I was actually playing this game for real, I would probably try and farm these monsters for experience points a little bit, but...
Right. And sorry, did we find out if you fall in the water, you just die?
I don't know. Let me save and then I'll try it. I was just thinking about that. Whoa! Okay. That's pretty good. I don't even know if I took any damage. It just, like, transported me to a different part of the cave.
I like that it, like, picks you up. It, like, there's, like, a water spout comes out and it's like...
That's it. I'm just booking it out of here. I think there might be one more pathway
Isn't
that I
that
missed
right?
in there, but...
Yeah, but it took you right near the door, actually.
Yeah, when the water grabbed me. And I don't think, like I said, I don't think it did any damage. So that's pretty cool. I don't know. This game seems pretty good. What are you hanging around here for?
I mean, it's a
cave. I got the sword, old man.
Where
is it? Oh, did I not?
You have to use it on the old man or something?
Oh shit, I may have fucked up. Oh shit. I think that my save was before I talked to the thief, because I saved in case he decided to attack me. Let me try resetting here, and I'll try. I think I may have made that second save over the top of my first save, so I might be able to go right back there.
Yeah, I think you had another save. I think the save in slot 2 is the one that...
Yeah. Yep. All right. You really killed the fish man by yourself? What an unusual boy. Zakar, the thief of thieves, has changed his opinion of you. George likes his chicken spicy. Okay. Well, let's get out of here.
Ricky Henderson has more stolen bases than any other.
Oh man, that ball gives me full health. Shit. I'm gonna fuck up this testicle plant now. Oh, he dropped some kind of a scroll. What's that? Oh, that increases my MP. Must be you get magical spells too. I have an MP bar, but I have no way to actually take advantage of that at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see where this one takes me. Okay, same place. That's pretty cool though.
It's really convenient. It would be inconvenient if you were almost at the end of a dungeon.
Holy shit! Oh, I must be invincible? Okay.
You might be.
Hey, shit, it's Anthony Rogers.
Who invited him?
I don't know. Now there's some kind of weird, like, atomic particle. Okay, that was the thing that gave me
that was me, sorry.
You're the one that put the atomic particle down, or the atom that turned me into purple fire guy?
Yep.
Alright. Well, this time I got the sword, so I'm gonna get the hell out of here. Before I'm killed by the cotton candy.
It's kind of annoying that you lose your purple fire as soon as you leave a room, though.
Yeah. I don't think it has a real long time. Well, I mean, there's only a limited number of enemies in each room, so...
Right.
Finally, you've returned. Did you retrieve the sword? Let me see it. It's all rusty, man. Sorry.
I sort of like the efficiency.
It's not my fault. This old man is a real fucking asshole.
Yeah, he's a dick. He also looks like one of the Canadians from South Park.
Yeah, kind of. That's what they ripped this.
Let's see, buddy. What is this? It's rusted. Idiot. A rusted object should be repaired before you bring it back to somebody. Don't you understand that, buddy?
Buddy. Don't get discouraged, Peep. Here, I'll heal your wounds. It's got a little. There's like a little like "My Body Lies Over the Ocean" quality to the accordion sound in the thing.
I like the efficiency of you not having to actually traverse an overworld. You just like pick a place and go there.
That's like a more like a tactical RPG style of like world traversal. He's hiding somewhere. Rumor has it that he's in a secret chamber, which is completely inaccessible. Well, that's not very convenient for business. Oh.
No, that's a shitty way to run a business.
It's more scrote plants.
That's how you know. That's how you know your real customers are.
The ones who can find you.
The ones who are willing to kill spiders and plants and... Oop, there's an evil snake now. Oh, I died. I don't know. You guys want to play some Zelda?
Yeah,
This game
let's
seems
play-
pretty
well,
good.
so-
I actually like this game. Like, it's
This
a
Genesis
totally,
or Genesisn't a decent Zelda clone.
yeah, it's a totally competent one of those. I really like that it's really snappy at the beginning. Like they just kind of throw you in, and like the combat's pretty simple. But even in that first dungeon, like I found a new weapon, and it seems like I don't know. There's some shit going on with this game.
Yeah.
And it's pretty, like, it doesn't seem like it's super hard either. I mean, I know I died a couple times, but I was being pretty careless, so. I don't know, this game, Genesis, is pretty good. I think I could play some more of this, but I have like 1,000 hours of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild to play, so I don't know, that I'll
Once
actually
you finish,
get
you can
back to
come
it,
back
but-
to King Colossus.
Yeah.
And next week we'll do another, because I'm sure we'll probably all still be playing Breath of the Wild next week.
I would.
So
I
we'll
would
come back to
assume so.
another
It's-
Genesis Zelda clone next week.
This is the new Overwatch. Get used to it on the stream.
Just
I don't
playing
think
Zelda.
I don't
it's
think
gonna
we'll
have
play
the
as much
same-
Zelda
Yeah.
as we did Overwatch.
We can play
me
something else
crazy.
next week and then talk about Zelda.
Right.
We can stream other games that look like Zelda. I played it. I was messing around with some PlayStation 2 emulation, and I ended up playing like 6 hours of Okami, and that game is still pretty fucking good. I was gonna stream that last week, but Joe wanted to check out River City Ransom, which was probably a better use of our time. But
It's funny. I was thinking about that game the other day
Okami,
because I was playing Zelda.
yeah, Okami's real good. All right, so that's King Colossus. It's good. What's the shit.
I've never heard of that. Wait, I guess
What's
I could
that?
go watch the start of the stream. I've
Yeah,
just
you-
never heard
we
of this. Like,
explained it.
who,
King
who
Colossus.
made it?
Well, it was
Sega made it.
It was developed and
Sega
published
itself?
by Sega, but it was
Yes.
not released in the United States.
Well, try being on
Ah.
time next time,
Yeah.
Anthony, and you'll
I
get
was.
all this
I'm
information.
early because I wasn't supposed to be on this part.
Okay.
Well, then you shouldn't have shown up to this part. What are you doing?
Well, hey, okay, wait. If you
I
go
wanted
to
talk to you guys.
if you go to mijet.eludevisibility.org, you can find the website for this. I guess it's a group of people that do fan translations. Of, like I said, there's like a bunch of Sharp X68000 translations and an emulator for that on this page as well. So
Huh.
that
That's
might be an interesting thing to mess around with at some point. But there, like I said, there's Langrisser 2, Glay Lancer, and there's some enhancement packs for Contra Hardcore and Shinobi 3 and Warsong, which is the first Langrisser game. So I don't know. There's a bunch of weird stuff on this page. And
I
like
wonder
I said,
what
there's
the
a bunch of
was the enhancement pack? Does it like make the game like the Japanese version again? I
don't
wonder.
know. This improves the text script, adds numerous minor enhancements and fixes. The most recent version of this patch allows both players to select the same character. So
Why
I don't
would
know.
you? I don't know why you'd want to do that. There's
I don't
a
know.
strategic advantage
Because
to use.
everybody wants to play as the fucking werewolf with the machine gun, motherfucker.
No, everybody does not want to play as the werewolf with the machine gun.
Anyway, yeah, mijet.eludevisibility.org. That will give you the patch. You still have to dump your own ROM, or I think you can just find the ROMs on, like, pre-patched ROMs on pretty much any ROM website that you go to. So, anyway, that's King Colossus. We'll see you next week with some other Zelda-ish kind of game, I guess.
Yeah. Yep.
Probably
for
won't
watching.
have as dope a box art as King Colossus does. Bye.